That thinks I'm live. Okay. Strange things are happening with Twitch, but it appears we are here. So, good morning everybody. It is Saturday, and we are on Oakfield Farm, FS19, and I'm chopping trees down. At least I'm trying to chop trees down. I'm not having much success. Jeez. How does this work again? If you put it to one side, there we go. FS17, walk along the trunk. FS19, hold the chainsaw off to one side. Okay, let's there we go. Oh. I can't remember how long that is. Let's put the chainsaw away. Yeah, okay. That's about 7 meters. So we can build 7 meter logs, or cut 7 meter logs, which we will do. That'll do. And I probably could do with the chainsaw. There we go. Okay, 7 and around about 14. I think we're off the end of that one. Okay, more trees up here. I cut down about 3 or 4 trees before I started the stream, and then had issues with OBS. For some reason, not connecting to Twitch, or not getting feedback from Twitch, should I say. So I can't edit the stream title from OBS. I have to set that up before I start the stream. But outside of that, everything going fine. So news this week, we got new desks. So the office is a little bit more as intended. So for that one, because it was being a problem, you crouch, start cutting, and then stand up and it will chop. It'll catch as it goes up. Okay, and I think this is, oh, there's a couple here. Turn them on. Refresh the stream. There we go. Okay. So yes, so last week I put the desks up, and then unfortunately discovered that I was going to have problems playing Farm Sim because, where's my tree gone? There. Unfortunately, the frame of the desk is thicker than any of the stuff I attach to the desk, like the side panel and what have you. So my side panel is in a rather awkward place, which I'm just going to have to live with for now. And okay. I'll figure out a permanent solution for that eventually. But for right now, it is what it is, in the words of Millennial Farmer. And that looks like it's not going to work either. Oh. That kind of looks like we got everything, so let's get the tractor detached and start picking things up. Wrong. There we go. Then, what else has happened this week? We haven't really done much this week. Work is work, and they pay me to do stuff. Get out. There we go. So I've been doing some work and not going anywhere because we're not allowed to go anywhere still. Oh, this is going to be awkward. Unless I get something very heavy to put on this little table. And our marvellous governor has given us another 3 weeks indoors, because yeah, she's one of these people that went with flatten the curve, and now the curve is bottomed out. She's now into we can't let anybody else die, so we have to wait for a cure. And as I figure it, it's a virus much like the flu. And we don't have a cure for the flu. We have a vaccine that helps alleviate issues that you might have with the flu, but we don't have a cure. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if there's no cure for this virus. We might get something that alleviates issues and helps people not suffer. It might be as bad as the flu vaccinations, which are hit or miss every year. So, yeah, don't know what's going to happen. Now I have to figure out where I cut this branch. Should be a bit right about there. That should be around the middle. And we got it, yay. Well, that looks a bit longer than 17 meters, I think. 7 meters even. But we're all good. Now this is going to help farm finances because we are, as you can see, very low on money. Now we do have some wool to cut, to sell, sorry, in January, or spring. But that may or may not help us by much, since wool just doesn't have any value. I do have a fair I can't walk through the grab. I do have a fair consideration that maybe I should have gone with a more faster growth sheep and sell them for meat rather than going with the wool sheep, which just don't carry the income potential that they used to. Good morning, Captain Zinc, and welcome to the stream. I'm going to reverse over that log. Oop, oop. Yeah, that was a little bit rougher than I thought it would be. So yeah, the new desks we have are nice, apart from the fact they have this huge frame underneath, which, as I said, prevents me clamping stuff to it. Now, fortunately, I have a steering wheel stand, which is separate from the desk, which means I can hide the steering wheel away when I'm not using it. Now that means I can use it. What went on there? That might have worked. But Mrs. Osa doesn't have that luxury. So there is an issue with getting her up and running so that we can do a family farm anytime soon. Trying to start a new farm on Oakfield with the update being. Oh, good morning, Hail Team. What's the lime bug? I've not come across that. At least I don't think I have. And I've got the side panel on a sort of fold-out table, and that's giving me all sorts of grief because it has no weight behind it, so operating this joystick is a little tricky. It'll work for now, and we do intend to put a table of some description between the two desks and put the printer on that, and I figure the printer will have enough weight that the table won't rock around. Plus the side panel being in a more comfortable position. At the moment it's sort of 90 degrees to the way I'm facing. Lime would not show on the ground. No. Okay, I haven't come across that problem yet. And we have limed all of our fields so far. This log is a little bit heavy for this tractor. Okay. Note to self in future. Bring weight. So yeah, lockdown is now until middle of June. My expectations are, since she wanted to go to the 30th of June, we're probably going to end up locked in until the 30th of June, at the very least. The legislature challenged her last week, basically saying you're only supposed to emergency for 28 days, then we have to give you permission. What the heck is wrong with that log? Wow. Okay then. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. I don't know if I've got a spare weight. We're going to have to check that. Hello, good morning and welcome to the stream. No, the wheel's on the stand. It's the side panel I have a problem with. And the clamp is only so thick, and the frame of the table is 2 inches thick. So that's way more than I could do. I could take a saw to the side panel, cut off the bit that goes underneath the table, and screw it to the table, but I don't think we really want to do that. So how many weights? I've got 2 weights. Oh, I've got the Agco weight that's on the back of the on the back of the little one. That one. Okay. To save running around, we'll take this tractor over there and drop it off. Oh, we have an incredibly bad governor locking everything down. We have one of the top 5. Depending on the day of the week, she can be number 1, she could be number 5. But she went over the top authoritarian, said basically we're pretty much staying locked down until there's a cure. And supposedly they're supposed to declare a state of emergency, and then after 28 days they're supposed to authorize that state of emergency with the legislature. And when that came up, she didn't even bother talking to the legislature. Well, no, I tell a lie. The first time she did it, she basically went to the legislature and said, okay, I've had 4 weeks, can I have until the 30th of June? And the legislature said, no, but we'll give you till the end of April. And she's like, okay, fine, I can do that. Well, that went through. Oops. And then she got extremely draconian and basically came back and said, fine, so nobody can do anything because I said so. And everyone's like, we gave you an extension. We didn't give you the authority to put everyone under house arrest. So when she went back and asked the legislature for another extension, the legislature basically said, we're not sure we're willing to entertain this because you're just going to do something crazy again. So she said, fine, cancelled the state of emergency and started a new one. And the judge in the court case said basically, seriously, you're not supposed to do that. That might be the letter of the law, but that's not the intent. You can't just go in there and say, hey, I'll just extend the state of... I can't extend the state of emergency. I'll just make a new... end the old one, make a new one. And so... But she then turned around and said to the legislature, you don't have a leg to stand on. There's sort of, well, hang on a minute, what about this co-equal government thing? It's sort of, it doesn't matter when it's a state of emergency type of thing. So, legislature turned around and said, fine, we're appealing. Now, the nice thing is, I think we're in the same circuit as Wisconsin. And Wisconsin already made a ruling that you can't keep people locked down indefinitely. And that may or may not colour appeal court judges within the district. I am not near the flooding, no. The flooding is way up north from me. Okay, well, we managed to get that stick on the truck eventually. Now I've got to find the other sticks. Oh, under all this grass. Great. Oh, there's one. Yeah, I used to live in Texas. I liked Texas. For the most part. I mean, I'm not a big fan of hot weather, but Texas was good. But the company I worked for there decided they didn't want me anymore, and it wasn't completely fine by me at the time. But you see, I'm having issues because the fork is a little bit, or sorry, the joystick's a bit at an angle for me. But it turned out to be okay because 6 months later the company I worked for disappeared entirely from the face of the earth and got bought by Bank of America. Okay, let's see if we can... There we go. Okay. I do live in Michigan now, yes. I did once live in Texas, and prior to that I lived in California. And prior to that I lived in England. One of the good things about coming to Michigan is my in-laws live in Ohio, so we're far enough away to be far enough away and close enough that we can go visit a little bit more frequently than I can visit my family, which probably ain't going to happen in my lifetime now. I'm allowed to work because I work for an industry that supports essential business. So we supply plastics and metals are good for building life-saving equipment and hospital beds and stuff like that. And plastics are good because you can make ventilator parts out of them, and plastic sheets to go in front of checkouts at grocery stores and all sorts of fun things like that. I think we've supplied a lot of the local retail chains with plastic sheets and clamps to help them protect their workers at the checkouts. And we also supply the big three car manufacturers as well, who just went back to work this week. But there was quite a lot of concern early on, which ways do the trees fall this way, where some of our customers were basically saying, okay, you're all having to shut down. What are we going to do? Because we still need metals and plastics because we're a essential business. And we're kind of, no, we'll still be open. Now, warehouses have quite stringent rules. Everything's under camera anyway. And we've had a few people who were reprimanded for not social distancing, which obviously can be quite tricky when you're transferring bits of metal from one cutting machine to a forklift or whatever. But since I'm in IT, I get to work from home, So it's a thing. Okay, I'm going to throw the tree down the hill. We'll go for the unrealistic for a minute, since it's not falling over. Timber, okay. So yeah, so that's the state of play here. We are having the kids come over this afternoon. Which is basically at Natural Mum's permission. But she's sort of, the kids are going stir crazy, and so am I, and frankly, yes, take them for a day. Because she's a single mum, so she's been stuck with them for, what, 8-10 weeks now? Okay, that's 2 trees chopped down. There's a piece of wood there. Oops. So we're going to have to deal with that as well. Hey Marsley, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're down, I think they were saying we're down about 30% on business, which obviously isn't a good deal, but at least we're still in business. And as I said, as IT, I get to work from home, so I get to do lockdown and get paid for it. Those are just 14-metre long trees. Tall. Well, I suppose they were tall, but now they're long. But since my family's in the UK, and goodness knows what the UK is up to, I'm probably not going to see them ever again at this rate. Which is a shame. I was hoping to go back there at least once, but there's so many restrictions on travel and what have you that it's just not a happening thing anymore. Nope. Everything turn off. Do not throw the tractor. So yeah, again, it's 9:41 local time, and we're basically looking at, the kids should be arriving about midday, so that's the latest I will be able to stream for today. I think last week I called it quite early. Wake up Mrs. Osa at 11 o'clock so she can get a shower and ready. Nice throw. Oops. Try not to hit the trailer. So I'm not having any problems with these log forks again. These log forks available in FarmSim 17, I use them to chop down, I think it was about, no, it was more than 500 trees. A lot of trees. There were a lot of trees on the folds. And I cut most of them down at least once. And using this log fork, it's a lot more grippy than the in-game one. The in-game one's only got one tooth on the top. This one has two, which means that the logs don't wobble around. Yeah, that wasn't very well placed. Yeah, I'm from Essex, so I know the Essex area. I wouldn't say very well, but I'm familiar with it. My sister's boy, who I honestly can't remember how old he is.